Hi, I'm Brian Heward, the owner-operator of Watchdog Networking. I thought I'd take a few minutes not just to introduce myself, but also to talk about some common security issues, some problems you might say, and some solutions that I've seen implemented, and how then once the security issues are dealt with, then we can begin to talk about things like performance, things like employees maximizing their workday through the lack of downtime and things running at 100%. I think one of the greatest challenges that I see is the integration of the personal computer with the business computer. That goes for the small business owners, as many of us, I'll say, use our laptop for fun and for work. Now, the good part about that is that you only need one really good computer to get everything done that you need to do. Where the challenge comes in is if you're surfing the web, if you're maybe downloading a little file here or there, and maybe a little toolbar for your browser, and if you're not careful, if you pick up a virus, bug, piece of malware on that personal computer, you could lose everything in your business. I can't tell you how many times when I worked at the Microsoft store, I'd see guys come in and put their head in their hands down the table and say, "I've lost everything. 10 years of business contacts. It's all gone." Well, sometimes we can get it back and sometimes we can't. So the first thing I would suggest is make your business computer a business computer, if at all you can. Now, if you're like me and you still use your laptop for personal and business, realize that there's some precautions you can take to make sure you're not that guy or that gal that comes after the fact saying, "Help, help, I've got an emergency." Because sometimes it is too late and you don't want to be there. Business is important to you. I would say the first thing to do is lock it down. Just lock it down. Nobody should have your password. If you don't have a password, you need one. I know it's a hassle to put it in every time, but it's a lot more of a hassle if something happens. And we all think it won't happen to us, but it's happened to me. It has happened to me, I'll say. Not lately, but it's happened. So you want a good password, nice strong password. And if your kids want to use your computer, if another employee that doesn't have the security clearance that you have wants to use your computer, you have a separate account for them, a guest account or something. You really have to do it. It's the only way to be safe. You just need to do it. You need to lock your computer down. And we also need to take a look at your ports. There's 65,000 ports on your computer. Imagine if your house had 65,000 doors and windows. Would you want to walk around every night and check all those? Well, you should. What if there were 1,000,000 burglars trying to break in? Well, you'd want to make sure those are secure. And it's the same thing. You want to make sure your password is secure logging in. You want to make sure your computer is buttoned down from intrusion on the outside. And you want to make sure that people aren't accessing it and messing it up by mistake, downloading things or whatever. So number one, password security. It's kind of a given, but sometimes we take it for granted. The other one is you want to do several virus scans. Now the thing is, sometimes it can matter even what order you do them in, because sometimes you'll want to run like some spyware utilities to try to pull the spyware out before you go after the big viruses and Trojans. Sometimes you'll do it opposite. It just really depends on what you encounter kind of as you get into the machine. Some of the stuff you're going to go after manually if you're a good technician. But definitely you want to get that computer 100% clean, especially if it's been used in different environments for the web. Probably the best practice is to clean it up real good, to pull the old antivirus program off and load a brand new program on, and then of course load the Adobe and Java and things like that as well. Personally, I use NADI Set32, but different people like different antivirus programs. No matter what you use, I probably wouldn't use a free one, even though I do, like on my kid's computer. Again, if this is your business computer, if this is a business machine, you want to invest some money into it because it's your livelihood. And it doesn't have to be a lot. Good antivirus program is less than $50 a year. The other thing you want to do is invest another $50 or so in a good backup program. So once you've got the computer locked down at the front door and the doors and windows and the ports, once you've got it all cleaned up on the inside, and I might mention along with the cleanup sometimes comes repair of the operating system, because today's viruses are so smart that as they come in, they replace Windows files. Sometimes on their way out, they damage things. Sometimes the operating system needs to be repaired. Once that's all done, you make a full system image backup. So in the event of a disaster, you can restore it back to where it was. And then you also want to make some individual backups of files, and you have to have a good backup program. Along with that, of course, there's other things like Windows updates. But if you'll do those three, if you'll lock your computer down at the front gate and the doors and windows, if you'll run several antivirus program scans and get a good virus on there, and if you'll be faithful with your backups, then we can start to talk about things like performance. And that's where those things come in, because until you've done those things, especially the security and the antivirus, there is no performance. Viruses and Trojans and malware are incredible system resource hogs, and once we get the system clean and running as it should, then we can begin to do some performance tune-ups and maybe add a little RAM or do whatever we need to do. Now, most of what I'm saying now applies to the personal computer that's also used for the business, whether it's a laptop or a workstation. It's even more critical for the server. So it's not expensive. It doesn't cost a lot of money to have someone come in and do this. Myself, I'm $90 for the virus removal. A little bit more to put you on a plan where we can get things maintained and keep them maintained. So what, even if it costs you a couple of $100 a year, people are going to pay $100 just to get the viruses taken out, and sometimes by that time it's too late. So really want to encourage you to invest wisely and be on guard, because we see it at tax time, and we see it at Christmas time, unfortunately around the holidays. Just waves of new viruses, Trojans, malware, and things that are designed to knock you out of business, and we do not want to see that. We want to see your employees productive and making you money. All right, thanks.